Gloria's back. Oh, and I guess the Green family as well. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 19 of Big City Greens. It has been way too long. I did not mean for this break to last this long, but I'm glad we're back. We took a break because the last episode was extremely strong. Like, episode 18 was fucking amazing. The first segment of it like dealt a lot with Gloria and like really delved into the depths of her character a lot more, which is like Gloria's my favorite character, so of course I'm gonna love that. And then the second segment of last episode, like, emotionally surprised me by bringing in the mom. Cricket's mom is finally addressed, finally brought in. Apparently she was in prison for some reason. But, like, the episode was about them trying to track down the dog who had, like, run away. And then we find out by the end that the dog had smelled, like, the scent of the mother and had been, like, trying to find her and get to her. And it's, like, the ending surprise with her coming back is just, like, it got to me. It's even thinking about it now, it's like, holy shit, that was good. And emotional. I'm like actually tearing up from it right now. But I do want to say that this episode I know is not going to follow that, because I already like found out like when we got to that these episodes have been out of production order. We've been watching in like the order they aired. But that was not the order that they were made in and not the order they were intended in. So I think it's like episode 21 that's actually the follow-up to episode 18. So like episodes 19, which we're doing today, and then episode 20 will not be like covering that. Which kind of sucks, but at the same time, like, what are you gonna do? We're watching in like the release order because that's the order it's listed on sites. Watching it in production order, it's like the problem with trying to do that is I'd have to look up episode titles and everything and figure out which episode is what, and that's gonna like spoil me. We're watching in the order that it's released on, the order that it's in, like on the sites for. If I'm hoping season 2 fixes that though, because like that does suck, right? It does suck that it's like out of like actual intended order. And this is not the first show that's had this kind of problem. There's been a lot of shows that have like aired things out of intended order, and it's like kind of messed up like ongoing narrative points and whatnot. This is just another example in that line of, you know, actions. I don't know why these networks do this. It makes no sense to me. I do know, though, that this episode is a Halloween special. So I'm assuming that they, like, specifically needed to, like, switch things around at least a little bit to have this air at the right time. So I can see that, at least. I don't know if I know there's a lot of shows where Halloween specials aren't fully considered canon. Like, there was a Halloween special for Amphibia that wasn't considered canon, I believe. And so it's like, it's hard to judge these in the greater scale of the overall show if they aren't considered canon. If this is, then I assume it's probably, if it's not going to feature the mom, it's probably like taking place before that. Because I assume this is like earlier in the production order than the last episode or the episode 21. I'm assuming like it's probably like earlier in the production order, and they again just had to switch things around to get it out at the right time. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. It sucks going into this knowing this is the Halloween special, but again, I kind of was told that before, like, because of the fact that I was told specifically as well that we would not be following up on the mother right away. And I could have probably done these out of order, but that would have felt weird to me. And again, I didn't want to spoil myself with episode titles by trying to track down and figure out the production order, so we're just going to continue going in airing order. As confusing and sucky as it can be. So we'll just have to kind of deal with it. I do really hope this does correct itself by season 2, because it very much needs to. It really does screw a lot of things up, especially when you have some, like, a big reveal like that. Because then you're going to have to go 2 episodes, 2 weeks without getting, like, back to it, and just having, like, other episodes going on that seemingly have, like, nothing to do with any of that kind of stuff. I don't even know if they'll have anything to do with other plot lines. Like, there's that one, the supermarket owner guy, Chip, I think is his name. It's been a while, listen. And then there's other, like, family growth stuff, and obviously the other characters, like Gloria being given development over time and growing closer to the Green family over time. It's like, we're just going to have to wait to see how this goes down. But we're doing Halloween in July, so let's get to this and see what this Halloween special has in store for us. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I enjoyed that. Like, this was good fun. I love the idea of the zombie animals. There is some, like, great costume stuff in here. Just a lot of good moments. Having Danny Trejo be back as Vasquez was awesome, because, you know, we need more T.O. Danny in our lives. It's like, this was just an absolute joy. If you like slightly spooky stuff, like non-horror shows kind of going horror a little bit, this is absolutely the kind of episode for you. I love what they did with the opening. It wasn't like a massive change, but the changes they made were very appreciated and definitely were better than the Halloween special opening for Amphibia. I don't think it was quite on the level of, like, an opening change like Weirdmageddon for Gravity Falls, but it was still really good. And there's so much about this episode that I appreciate. Like I said, I don't know if this is canon to the story, but it was a blast. Like, everyone had their good part. There was still, like, a little heart to it with, like, Bill just wanting to continue to bond with his kids and wanting to, like, continue trick-or-treating with them, because, you know, he sees it as something that's, like, extremely he sees it as their thing, as something that they can do to, like, connect with each other and have fun and just enjoy their time as, you know, family. And mind you, there's absolutely no reason that he couldn't have continued doing so in the city. Like, he just walks with them instead of drives them around. I understand, like, they kind of wanted to go alone because I guess they could. But, I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't let my kids go alone in the middle of a big city. It's like anything could happen. I'm kind of glad that they didn't have like the blood moon thing be like infectious in the same way a zombie virus is. That they could have easily done that. I feel like it would have been a little too generic though. I'm glad that like Gloria never like turned or anything and just like was like almost feral in just her own way just to get to this party just because she's so desperate to make friends and have these connections, which it's like, considering what we know about her backstory and everything, it's like, God, that's actually really sad. um it's it's really fun to see though, and I really just I think this was just a really good Halloween special. It really nailed the vibe, the tone. The jokes were still really on point. There were some like really funny, clever jokes here. Um, One that comes to mind is just like after Bill reveals that he was the one who did it. I think it was Tilly who asked Grandma Alice, like, "Oh, what's gonna happen now?" And she's like, "Well, either we're gonna be killed by the blood moon animals, or we're gonna survive and never be able to trust Bill again." It's like that's really funny. There were a lot of jokes like that, and this series does that kind of humor generally, so it's not a surprise that they included a lot of those very clever, very smart jokes in this, because they do that anyway. But it's like that was just really funny. That was a really good one. And there were even some simple jokes that were like just really good as well. Like Gloria saying to Tilly, "Oh, you're not crazy like the rest of them," and she's talking about like curing her like horrible disease, and she's like, "Oh, come on." That's It's just classically funny. A lot of great moments in this. Just really enjoy. I also like that Gloria had a more subdued costume because I feel like that's very fitting with her like trying to like make friends and find connections and just make a life for herself here in big city. Like I feel like a more subdued costume like while she's trying to do that makes sense for her character instead of going for something like more strongly, how do I put it, she doesn't have like this big detailed costume. It's something very simple, very easy, just a sweater, little cat ear headband, and like she drew some whiskers on her face. Very, very, very simple. And I think that really fits her character and like with what she's trying to be and what she's trying to do. I feel like if you like went a little further, like put her in like a cat onesie or something, it would be a little too much and it wouldn't really fit her as much. But maybe that's just me. I like that. I like the little Vasquez Remy moment of like finding out that Vasquez was always dressed as a hot dog and Remy accidentally copied him. And afterwards, they kind of like agree to like do duo costumes together. Because they've kind of grown closer through this entire situation. It's like that's cute. That's just kind of adorable. Um, yeah, there's a lot of fun here, and I really enjoy. I really enjoyed this. I think this was just something really really positively uplifting, that it's like sometimes even if you don't entirely need it, like even if you're not in like a bad place, it just makes you feel so much better than you did before. This is definitely one of those types of episodes for me. And even though it doesn't continue with where the last episode left off because of the production order issue, it's like I wasn't even worried about that. I just had a good fucking time with this. So tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of Big City Greens. I'm happy to be back. This is just a really fun episode to come back on. And we will continue next week with episode 20. So thank you so much. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.